Today on Investigate TV Plus, high-speed police chases that can have dangerous consequences.
I just want my mom.
Thousands of people in the U.S. have been killed in police pursuits, and we have a look at the efforts to change policy and hopefully save lives.
The real important question in all of this is it worth it?
Plus, imposters lurk on social media, stealing your pictures and videos.
All of my content, everything in my profile, down to the amount of followers I have.
We'll show you how to protect your identity so you and your followers don't get faked out.
I made a block of wood out of popsicle sticks. For a stain, I used coffee.
An artist says he perfected his craft in an unlikely place. Now he hopes his work will not only launch a new career, but inspire others.
In-depth stories that inform and inspire. You're watching Investigate TV Plus. A 2023 report released by the U.S. Department of Justice says that many high-speed police chases should not happen. I'm Tisha Powell.
And I'm Lee Zurich. According to data from the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, in 2021, 525 people died in crashes related to police chases. More than 200 were likely not even involved in the pursuit.
Investigative reporter Andy Parati has an in-depth look at the findings and why pursuits could be scaled back in parts of the country.
83-10-01 in traffic pursuit.
The dangerous consequences of high-speed police pursuits. From this Wisconsin case that left a 16-year-old dead.
Crash, we need medical.
To this pursuit in Ohio that killed two innocent bystanders.
Oh, he just crashed.
And this case involving Georgia State Patrol in 2021.
Pitch successful.
Before it ended here, it started on Hunters Mill Drive in Paulding County, Georgia. Driver Charlie Moore pulled over on the side of the road, concerned why Highway Patrol was following close behind. Trooper David Peterson asked for his driver's license. Moore refused.
One step out of the way. I'm not doing that. What crime did I commit?
One step out of the way.
What crime did I commit? You have to articulate that, and also ask for your supervisor.
Minutes later, two county deputies arrived on the scene. Officers break his window. Moore then takes off.
What the bro?
Records show Trooper Peterson's speed tops 95 miles per hour, passing two deputy patrol cars on a narrow two-lane road to reach Moore's vehicle before knocking him off the road using a pit maneuver.
Pitch successful.
Moore and his son survive.
I just want my mom.
But someone in the back seat did not. 12-year-old Leiden Boykins, a 7th grader who loved to play basketball. His mother, Tony, learned about the crash from a neighbor.
I hung up the phone and I just instantly knew. I called my husband like something bad has happened.
Tony blames the trooper for her son's death for engaging in an unnecessary, dangerous pursuit, knowing Moore was not accused of a violent crime before the chase. Trooper Peterson claims he didn't know children were in the vehicle.
There was no need for a chase. There was no need for a chase.
A new report published by the U.S. Department of Justice agrees. Among the report's recommendations, pursuits should only take place when a violent crime has been committed or when the suspect poses an imminent threat to commit another violent crime. Georgia has no such policies. It largely allows troopers to determine when it's appropriate to engage in high-speed chases.
Police need discretion, but they also need some parameters. Under what circumstances should you pursue?
Chuck Wexler is the executive director of the Police Executive Research Forum, which produced the report on behalf of the agency.
It's not as though we're saying don't ever pursue, but we're saying if you're going to pursue, make sure that it is for the right reasons. The real important question in all of this is it worth it? Is it worth endangering that person who you're pursuing, the police officer who's pursuing them, and that third party.
A call to action as deadly police pursuits are on the rise in the U.S. According to the Department of Transportation, at least a 41% increase, killing 8,200 people over the past 2 decades. The Georgia Department of Public Safety declined to respond to the increase in pursuits, the report's recommendations, and the chase that led to Leedon's death.
1233, there are children in the car.
Despite knowing that some of the officers knew there were children in the vehicle before the crash.
So if you have kids in the car, if I can get up here, I'll pass them and we'll try and box them in, guys. Y'all killed them!
If you could have an opportunity to speak with this trooper, what would you say?
Tell me the reason why my son isn't here today. A 12-year-old kid is dead behind the decisions you made to do a pit maneuver on a car, a violent pit maneuver.
According to Trooper Peterson's personnel file, he did not face any disciplinary action related to the pursuit. Attorneys for Leedon Boykin's family has filed a federal lawsuit against the Georgia Department of Public Safety in September 2023. The agency has declined to discuss the increase in pursuits, the DOJ's report, or the chase that led to Leedon's death. In Atlanta, I'm Andy Perotti.
According to data from NHTSA, in 2021, Texas saw the largest number of crashes involving a police chase, followed by California, Georgia, Tennessee, and Virginia. You can read the full report from the Department of Justice on InvestigateTV.com.
Just search high-speed stakes.
Still to come, lung cancer isn't just a disease for smokers.
What I try to tell people is if you have lungs, you can get lung cancer.
The medical mythbuster explains what could put you at risk.
But first, con artists use copycat profiles to lure family and friends into scams.
Don't get scammed. I'm never going to ask you for cryptocurrency.
We'll break down what you can do to protect your account.
Our in-depth coverage continues. You can get connected to Investigate TV Plus on all social media platforms.
What would you do if someone was pretending to be you on social media?
Experts say hackers aren't just taking over your social accounts. Many are stealing pictures and videos to create a completely new you, and sometimes it's a profile that's up to no good.
Consumer investigator Rachel DePapa explains how you can protect your online identity.
I just came to this bar with my beautiful friend Jen, and somebody recognized me.
Brooke Lacey still can't believe she's a TikTok influencer.
I'm famous.
With more than 300,000 followers.
But it poses some scamming problems.
She lives in Boise, Idaho, and works from home as a tech consultant.
Bitcoin is what's called proof of work.
Brooke uses social media.
You do not own your data.
To educate others about things like cryptocurrency and cybersecurity.
Can you make money buying and flipping NFTs? Yes.
Over the last year, she's been battling high-tech drama. People downloading her content and faking her identity across multiple social media platforms, making duplicate accounts, pretending to be her, even trying to scam her followers.
How many imposter accounts do you have right now that are mimicking you?
It's like a game of whack-a-mole.
On TikTok, she's constantly fighting off the fakes. This was one of the fake Instagram accounts. It had more followers than Brooke's real Instagram account.
All of my content, everything in my profile, down to the amount of followers I have. I don't know how it's happening.
Fake accounts are on big tech's radar. According to Facebook's transparency page, in late 2021, around 5% of monthly active users worldwide were fake, which means there were around 140 million fake accounts at any given time. Facebook and Instagram's parent company says it took action against 1.7 billion fake Facebook posts or accounts in that same time period. On Instagram's transparency page, there's no data available. TikTok touts on its page, last year it removed 70% of fake accounts before they were even reported. Imposter accounts are no surprise to James Lee, the COO of Identity Theft Resource Center.
Whenever you see any kind of dramatic rise in any one particular form of identity crime, you can be sure that the bad guys have figured out a way to make money.
Lacey only learned about the imposter accounts when friends reached out asking if she's selling Bitcoin.
Don't get scammed. I'm never going to ask you for cryptocurrency, ever.
If this is happening to you, someone is taking your content and creating fake profiles, first, contact the social media company and make sure you follow all of the steps listed on its website. Then, go into the settings and make your social media accounts private for the time being. Control your friends list. Make sure you know all of the accounts that are following you and check to make sure none of those accounts are other fakes. One more thing to make your account secure, turn on two-factor authentication on every account. That means when someone logs into your account, you get a notification and must approve it.
We reached out to Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok to ask about how they respond to fake accounts. None of the companies got back to us.
Crooks don't always care about how many followers you have. A hacker took over a Virginia woman's Facebook account claiming to have puppies for sale.
People have showed up in our driveway at 10 o'clock at night looking for Yorkie puppies that we obviously don't have.
Amy Jackson feared for her family's safety after scammers made posts on her mother's account.
On the status, it would say, we have 10 Yorkies. Unfortunately, we can't keep them all. Looking to give them away free to a good home for a small rehoming fee.
To make it seem like it wasn't a scam, Jackson said the hackers then replied with a picture of her mother's real driver's license. And people who were scammed out of money showed up to their home. Some were angry, some threatened violence.
People believe that it's her, scamming them.
Jackson eventually filed a report with the sheriff's office.
So I do worry about her safety and what it could possibly do. It's definitely got the potential to turn bad.
Coming up, a cancer survivor shares her story in hopes of saving others.
Every time I share my story, if I can touch or inspire like one person, I know I made a difference.
The medical mythbuster breaks down non-smokers' lung cancer risk.
You can watch Investigate TV Plus anytime online. Just subscribe to our YouTube channel at Investigate TV. You can catch stories and full episodes.
I walked out of that hospital with, a diagnosis that came out of left field for me.
In 2018, Jamie Knox was diagnosed with stage 4 lung cancer. She was 32 at the time.
To get a stage 4 lung cancer diagnosis and be a non-smoker, active, healthy, no asthma, no allergies, no history of cancer in my family, it really threw my whole life into like a tailspin.
Lung cancer is the third most common cancer in the U.S., and according to the CDC, more people die from it than any other type of cancer. But thanks to improved early detection, the American Lung Association reports in the last 5 years, the survival rate has increased by 25% nationally.
That shot right there is the shot to keep.
Knox is in remission, and while a diagnosis for someone in their 30s is rare, an associate professor at Emory University says it is not unheard of.
There needs to be more awareness of lung cancer as a disease, that it can be a disease of younger patients, that it can be disease of patients who have never smoked or who have rarely smoked or who are remote former smokers.
If you smoke cigarettes, the CDC says you're 15 to 30 times more likely to develop lung cancer than people who don't light up. But that doesn't mean non-smokers are in the clear.
In this medical mythbuster, reporter Viv Williams talks to a lung doctor at Vanderbilt University who explains even non-smokers are at risk.
A big myth about lung cancer is that only smokers get it.
What I try to tell people is if you have lungs, you can get lung cancer.
Dr. Otis Rickman, an interventional pulmonologist at Vanderbilt University in Nashville, Tennessee, says lung cancer in people who have never smoked is rare, but they're still at risk.
Of the 250,000 new lung cancers every year, only about 10% will be in never smokers.
Rickman says while smoking is the #1 cause of lung cancer, it's not the only cause.
One of the hidden ones is radon. So radon is a radioactive gas that builds up from breakdown of uranium.
He says you can't see or smell radon, which can seep from the ground into your home. The U.S. Environmental Protection Agency website notes that radon is the second leading cause of lung cancer behind smoking, and that 1 out of 15 homes has a radon level that should be reduced. So how do you know if your home has high radon levels? Big box stores and hardware stores sell test kits.
If that test is positive, then you may want to get a professional to come out
and install equipment to reduce levels. Other lung cancer risk factors for non-smokers are exposure to secondhand smoke and family history. Rickman says if you're a non-smoker who grew up with smokers in your home, worked in smoky bars or restaurants, have family members who had lung cancer, or have high levels of radon in your home,
talk to your doctor and I know that I'm a never smoker, but would lung cancer screening work for me?
For people at increased risk, Rickman says screening with CT scans may help detect lung cancer while it's still curable. With this Medical Mythbuster, I'm Viv Williams.
The EPA website has information about radon, including areas of the country known to have a lot of it, how to test for it, and what to do if levels in your home are high.
Just go to EPA.gov and search the term radon, or you can call the National Radon Hotline.
You can also check the American Lung Association's website to see if you're eligible for a lung cancer screening.
Or in Jamie Knox's case, her doctors tested for cancer biomarkers, which are genes, proteins, and other substances that can help determine if a person might be at higher risk for certain types of cancer, as well as the best ways to treat it.
Even me today, I'm sitting here at this table talking to you, I'm still not a candidate for lung cancer screening. I still wouldn't be considered a candidate. And my sincere hope with this interview is that if I can just get at least one person to go ask their doctor about screening or biomarker testing, then it was all worth it.
Next, a story of redemption through creativity. An artist used his time in prison to perfect his skills.
If you don't occupy this, then it's going to kill you. You're not going to make it. And for 13 years, this right here saved my life.
How he hopes to inspire people to keep pursuing their passions. An artist from Louisiana believes he's found a new career, but it did not come easy.
Vincent Oshello Sr. spent years behind bars where he developed his skills as an artist, and one of his biggest projects yet is a mural about an hour south of New Orleans.
Reporter Dave McNamara speaks with Vincent about his inspiration to step out of his comfort zone.
Vincent Oshello says he has been drawing pictures since he was 4 years old. He started with swamp scenes around his hometown of Lafitte.
I drew a picture of my daddy taking me duck hunting. My mama said that looked so good. I can remember her saying it, and it inspired me to want to keep drawing.
And then he got interested in drawing portraits. Oshello creates realistic-looking black and white pencil sketches.
You got to do a little at a time.
When I look at your drawing and look at a black and white photograph, it's hard to tell the difference. How did you learn how to do that?
A lot of perfection and stuff. Everything got to be just exactly, and that's what it's made me into, because my best is never good enough, and I keep trying to get better and better.
Oshello says he was working as a carpenter 20 years ago when his life took a bad turn. He says he got involved in dope and he got arrested and went to prison.
And I did 13 years for aggravated burglary, for knocking on a door and punched a dude in the face, and they gave me 15 years for it.
I can't imagine 13 years of my life in a cell.
If you don't occupy this, then it's going to kill you. You're not going to make it. And for 13 years, this right here saved my life.
Oshello says he drew constantly, sometimes for 8 to 10 hours a day. And he saved those pictures, hoping to make a living selling them after his release. He used whatever he had to create art.
This right here, the little jewelry box, it's made out of all popsicle sticks.
He made these tiny wood carvings.
But the bird right there took me 2 months to make it. I made a block of wood out of popsicle sticks. For a stain, I used coffee. And for the varnish, I used floor wax.
Oshello's been out of prison for 4.5 years, and he was recently offered a job painting a mural on an 80-foot-long metal fence at Griffin's Marina in Lafitte. He accepted the work, but had never used paints before. He had only done drawings.
And I prayed to God, and God showed me how to paint everything. And if people would just give God half the credit, they can do anything they want to do in their life. They just got to believe.
Oshello hopes his work on this roadside mural will help jumpstart his career as an artist.
And if you want something and you work hard enough and long enough, you're going to be successful at it.
And Oshello is willing to put in the work, trying to perfect his art, one drawing and one painting at a time.
What a talent there. And as they said, you really can't tell the difference if it's his drawing or a black and white picture.
Yeah, he's so talented and he's put so much time and effort into it, and he's really perfected the portraits. Those are beautiful as well. So I wish him the best with his career.
Very nice story, yes.
Yeah. Well, that's going to do it for us on Investigate TV Plus. I'm Tisha Powell.
And I'm Lee Zurich. Thanks for watching.
On the next Investigate TV Plus, blood transfusions are a vital weapon in the fight against cancer.
That's what supported me when I couldn't support myself.
We explore how a lack of donors threatens the blood supply and delays life-saving treatments.